Yo. Humanity's getting very comfortable with the masks. um, it's like people are forgetting, and the masks are going into the human subconscious as normal when they're not normal. You know, people buy decorative masks. They wear them with their friends and family at brunch. And there's this normalization of wearing them, of talking with them on, of looking at other people wearing them as normal, as basically accepting that if it lasted forever, people would be okay with it. That kind of energy. Even if people wouldn't admit that, that's the energy they're kind of exuding. And the thing with narcissists and psychopathy and all the other energies that are infused in the people who are mandating this, they come across as doing it for your benefit, for your safety, for your health. And people fall for it because, for many reasons, but they fall for it. And what this does is it has you unlock the energetic door. You take the lock off, you let the door crack open. So think of like an abusive relationship, which is what humanity's in right now. You know, or maybe you don't know yet, that your boyfriend's about to beat your ass. And you unlock your door, you let him in, maybe you give him a key. Humanity's given away their key, we can say that. And, you leave the door open for him and he has a key. And he's really nice to you at first. He buys you flowers, he buys you whatever you want. Super charming. And then the true intentions start to come in. And maybe you need some space, or maybe you don't agree with what's being rolled out next. But you impose everyone do what's being rolled out now because that's okay with you. When the next thing comes out, you're not okay with it. But again, it's going to still be imposed onto you. So the next thing gets rolled out. You don't like it. You want to close the door. But humanity has the door opened. And the abusive boyfriend has the key. And there's enough space in the door opening for him to jam his foot in the door so it can close. Not so fucking fast, he says. And now you're a little bit freaked out, and you're like, okay, maybe I'm gonna try to backpedal a little bit. I'm gonna do more research onto this boyfriend who I only met, a couple months ago, and that's more or less where humanity is headed right now. They don't know that the boyfriend is an abusive one, and that there's many, many strings attached, that it's not about health, it's not about safety. That's the narcissistic bait and illusion used to open the door and give him the key. And again, right now it's just kind of a crack, but again, the door is opening and the energies have their foot in the door. It's not closing. We're not going back to normal, yada, yada, yada. I've said this many times in my other videos. So, can you see this normalization of what's going on? And again, the justification of it being health, being wellness, being for your safety, for your own good, for your best interests. And if you're like me, number one, can you have compassion for yourself? A fuck ton of compassion in this insane world. Validate the fact that we are living in an insane, inverted world. Number two, can you move towards a space of not letting it dominate your energy field? So a lot of people can get frustrated, and again, like I've gone down this many times where I kind of leak my energy into caring so much about this insane world and trying to do something to change people's minds. But again, can we move our energy from that to more of a neutral place, to more of a place of laughter, of a place of seeing the absurdity and shrugging it off after we felt what we needed to feel about it? And then if you're on the other side of things, on the illusory side, we're all in this together, but if you're more operating under fear, or under the illusion or the truth in your reality that there's something to be worried about with this virus or with this story of one, again, can you have compassion for yourself, but can you also start to see and feel into the energy of the normalization of your own enslavement, of your own choice being taken away? And just ask yourself common sense questions and take back your critical mind, and realize that you may be comfortable with masks. You may be comfortable with even a vaccine, but are you going to be comfortable with the next thing that's mandated for everyone? Eventually you won't be, because I'm telling you, this train has just left the station, but it's picking up steam and it's barely started. So I promise you, if you're comfortable again with the masks and with the one vaccine, you may not be comfortable with two. You may not be comfortable with a yearly one. You may not be comfortable with something inserted into your body to track whether you've gotten vaccines or not. You're going to reach a point where you're uncomfortable with the slavery. So, I mean, some people will go out, happily enslaved, and that's their role, to wake other people up. People don't want to hear that, but that's true. Some people will go out as a slave because that's kind of the contract they have, and they're not interested in that's their service to humanity. So that will be some people. They'll go out with the AI or the whatever is rolled out next. But my point is, can you start to see it? Can you start to see other people's points of views in terms of, wait a minute, they're not wanting to wear a mask, but they're being imposed to wear a mask. Does that make sense to me? Even if they work, does that make sense to me? Again, if you want to get an abortion, but someone's telling you you can't get an abortion, does that make sense to you? No, that's not a free human being. That's an enslaved human being. This is taking ethics out of it. This is taking right or wrong out of things. This is about being able to live a free life without imposing your will onto anyone else. And again, that doesn't mean you can shoot up a mall. That's imposing your will onto someone else. You know what I'm saying? And I even can, understand that people who are caught in the illusion think that by not wearing a mask, the narrative is you're imposing your danger onto other people. But we're going to really have to get good at cutting through the BS and cutting through the illusions, because I'm telling you, things that were being sold as dangerous or not good for us, or that we need protection from our wonderful government or from our wonderful healthcare providers, because we're not capable of deciphering information for ourselves, that's going to lead a lot of humanity off a cliff. And this energy is what I'm talking about, is seen and embodied through the normalization of masks. So the more we can still see that human life, the normalcy and the naturalness is an unmasked society, as long as we can anchor that in still, the better off humanity will actually be. So again, just something to look at in this crazy ass world, and it's one step at a time. Maybe You know, for some people, it's like not wearing a mask outside at all. Like, you know, that's one level. Another level is, you know, being able to find places that are compatible with you where you don't have to wear one at all, or that they're lax about it, or, you know, there's understanding around people who don't wear one, you know. So that's my 10 minutes for today. Take care of yourselves. Have compassion for yourself, again, in this crazy world, and for others as much as you can. Give yourself space. And I'll see you guys very soon in the next video. Peace.